How do you parent in the age of the manosphere? Hi, Elsa. Welcome to Dad Jokes, a series that aims to highlight the best parenting that we see in TV, movies, and the greater pop culture. I hope that you're ready to cleanse your feed and become inspired to better influence the next generation. Today's watch is Adolescence, a Netflix miniseries that follows the aftermath of a horrific murder in a small northern English village. Now, there's a lot that we could write here regarding any theme in the show, and those things will probably be saved for another video. But today, I'd like to recognize a moment that I think is a good example of active and compassionate parenting in a world where our teenagers are increasingly vulnerable to cruel and bad faith influences, especially on the internet. And if it wasn't already implied, spoilers ahead. In episode 2, Detective Inspector Luke Bascombe, played by Ashley Walters, is tasked with going to a local school to investigate the murder of one of its female students, Katie. Coincidentally, this is the same school that his own distant, shy, preteen son attends. After being unable to get any type of helpful information, his son informs him that the deficiency in his case is that he, as an adult, does not understand the nuances of the Instagram emoji language and culture that has been built by and for kids that are growing up with this technology. At first, his father doesn't totally believe him, leading to a frustrated exchange. However, after taking a moment, he realizes that this is actually a learning moment for him, and he humbly accepts the advice, which leads to new breakthroughs in the case. At the end of the episode, we actually see some of that distance between the father and son closing as they head out for a Chinese takeaway. I personally appreciated the inclusion of this moment in the show. Parents have moments where they are fallible, where their estimations of the world and what it actually is can be totally off mark. What Bascom demonstrates here is that owning up to these moments of weakness can actually lead to better intimacy between parents and their growing children. Teenagers are elusive, kind of enigmatic human beings sometimes, and that's natural. Adolescence is a period of self-discovery, awkwardness, and trial and error. However, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be earnestly trying to understand their world and the enemies that they're up against, like the manosphere and other types of misogynistic rage bait. If we do, it could arm them with a secure foundation of care, stability, and mentorship that makes them less vulnerable to bad actors like Andrew Tate. Adolescence is a really hard watch at times because it puts up a mirror to some of the worst aspects of living during the age of the internet. However, for any adult out there that cares about children, I would call it mandatory viewing. What are your thoughts on adolescence? Let us know in the comments.